Everybody, it's been a little while. It's June 20th. God bless, blessings to all who happen to watch this video. Know that anybody who's led to watch the video or to read the blog was led there for a reason. So if you're guided to read the blog in a particular time you read it, or watch the video, or and to hear what was being said on there, it's because you were supposed to do so. You're supposed to read it, see it, or hear it, whatever it is you saw and heard. There's no such thing as coincidence, no such thing as an accident. That's for people with no faith. They don't have no explanation for anything, so they go, it's just coincidence, it's just happenstance, just an accident, no explanation for it. No. Everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason in your personal life and in this grand scheme of the world. Now, something I wanted to talk about, I was led to talk about, actually reading a book yesterday, and what we talked about in this novel just triggered some awarenesses. Now, these are my awarenesses or questions I have. And when I get an awareness, I'll get an epiphany. An epiphany is what is like a light bulb moment, which is something I've read many times before the Bible or heard through the messages, was suddenly, bing, I get it. Clearer understanding happens. Or a second or third understanding, layer of meaning. Awareness to me, for me, is just kind of a general sense of something. Some possibility, possible truth. Again, all things are possible with God. And they're always confirmed eventually, either through my spiritual messages or an epiphany in the Bible or some other method of communication he reveals to me. You know, he will do whatever he can and utilize whatever methods he can or needs to help us to grow in his light and learn once you open yourself up to that. It isn't just in the Bible. God is way more than that. And I can start with that, since I mentioned the Bible. And I've talked about this before on the blog and on these videos. And I come across so many people who say, okay, it's not in the scriptures, it's not true. Everything that God is in the Bible. And if it's not in the Bible, it's not true. You know, again, I call those people flat earthers. You know, if you decide you want to read the Bible one-dimensionally, from front to back, or two-dimensionally from top to bottom as well, that's your choice. When you get to the end there, and that's it, that's all you want to learn, that's all you're going to believe, then you basically completed school, primary school. And you never go on to baccalaureate, bachelor's, associates, or bachelor's, or master's degree, or PhD, or doctorate, or postdoctorate, which is in heaven, to use an analogy of school. That's your choice. But to think that just because you read the Bible, you know all about God, is I'm sorry, but that's lunacy. That's not an awareness, that's a fact. This God who is infinite, it's way beyond the limitations of 2 pages, of 2 covers of a book. Way beyond that. But if you choose, that's it. That's all there is about him. Then you basically put limitations on God, and you're saying that you know all there is to know about God, which is saying that you are equal with God. And that's one hell of an attitude to have. That's vanity. That's self-idolatry. I don't care how you want to candy coat it or package it, that's what it is. You don't agree? That's fine. That's fine. But the Bible, this is one of different versions I have. This is like a NIV, a new international version. And it's one of the more modern versions. But to say, okay, here's God, from here to here, it's all there is about God. Okay, that's fine. Here we have the beginning in Genesis all the way through Revelations. It talks about God and the people of God and the history of God and Jesus. When it gets through all the letters of Paul and the letters of Peter and John and Timothy, and that's all from through the time of Jesus and just after the time of Jesus. Well, then you have the prophecy, the Revelations, which has not occurred yet. So, if this is all that God is, we're missing a big chunk. Where is all about God from the end of the letters, which is just after Jesus, all the way to Revelations, which hasn't happened yet? Where's all about God? Where's that part of the story of God? It's not in there. Right there is proof that, hey, that's not all that God is. This is all that God is. And you're saying, okay, God only exists, and all that is about God only exists up through the letters, from the beginning up through the letters of Paul and John and Peter and Timothy. And then God doesn't exist, it hasn't existed until Revelations occurs. Well, which is it? Is this all God, all there is, or not? If it is, okay, then where is he for 2,000 years? Where's God? That's not all that God is. This is not all that God is. Plus, these surface pages here, is one dimension of God. Now, God's way more than one dimension. These surface pages are full of lies, falsehoods, and corruption. On the surface. Because mankind, this is like the surface of a pool of water in a lake. And this lake is bounded by the shore. There are limitations on the lake, limitations on the Word of God, boundaries around the Word of God. And the surface of the water is covered with slime. That's how everybody learns about God and sees God. Within borders and limitations, looking at the surface of slime. Because mankind is manipulated, and controlled, and influenced, and edited, and translated over and over and over again, controlling it, hiding it from everybody in Latin. So the truth has been distorted. So it's not true. On the surface. Now, before you get all bent out of shape, I'm not saying the Bible is useless or nothing. No, not at all. What happens if you want to see what's below that slime? You push it aside and you immerse yourself in it. You dive down into that water and you see imagine there's all these amazing, incredible things down underneath the surface that's beneath that slime, that distortion, that reflection, which blinds us. That slime, that reflection from the light, external light bouncing off and blinding us. Or like being on a boat, water, that reflections blind us. We see some good points of light, but we're blinded by it. But if we immerse ourselves down in it, we dive down into these pages and immerse ourselves in it, that's where the truth, God's word and God, glory and grace and truth reside, down underneath the surface. That's why he says, seek, and you shall find. Seek it. Seek him in everything and everywhere, in every place. Seek him. Ask how to seek him, how to find him. Ask to receive that wisdom and discernment of his wisdom and knowledge, and you will receive it. Then, once you've done all that, and you get to the end of your life, and you leave this world, and continue to learn what you're supposed to do, and all about him, you knock on that door, it will be open to you. And all these doors that hide, that are shut off to you, which behind them lie more and more about God, will be open to you. That's what he's telling you. Not about things of this world. Not about the wisdom and knowledge of man, which is corrupted and imperfect, but him. Dive down. Immerse yourself in these pages of this Bible. Immerse yourself in these pages. This book, this physical book, is part of the physical world. God is spirit. So from front cover to back cover, it's distortion on the surface. Immerse yourself down. You open this up, you're going from front to back. Front to back. But God's truth goes down below these pages, invisibly, down below these pages, extending downward into the book itself, into the Word, and spreading out infinitely. That's where God's at. That's what you need to seek. Don't rely on what is on the surface of the pages. Ask for discernment of His wisdom and knowledge. His wisdom and knowledge. And that's what I did with this. I was like you. I went from the surface pages, and I saw some neat things that stood out. But when I was asking to understand it, for wisdom and knowledge, and I got a little bit of it. But when I started I was told, no, you asked the wrong person. You asked the wrong question. Asked for discernment of His wisdom and knowledge, which I did. Then I started to see these deeper messages, deeper meanings. And some of the stuff was on the surface. I was seeing second, third level meanings of what was on the surface. Because it's physical, everything that was in here, everything that was said and put down in these pages has a physical world meaning for those who have eyes but do not see and ears but do not hear, and a spiritual meaning, at least one. Usually more. Layers of meaning underneath for those who have eyes but wish to see and ears who wish to hear, that He invited. He said, let those who have eyes see and let those who have ears see. Here, He is inviting them. He's inviting you, telling you, hey, seek it. He tied that into seek, ask, and knock. Saying, hey, you got eyes, you want to see the truth? You have ears, you want to hear the truth? Come on, seek, ask, knock, and discern. That's what that means. That's what the Bible. So do not rely on the surface of this. Ask to see down into, immerse yourself in these pages where the truth of God is. His Word and His truth lie. That man, physical man, could not corrupt. Could not. It's always been about power. After the Roman Church was established, Christianity was established, it became just as corrupted as any other power. Religion was formed. All these religions were formed because everybody perceived differently. So we make these different religions. Okay, we don't quite see things as you did, so we're going to make our own little branch off of religion. And then that took off, and then that branched off, and this one. There's only one God. I don't care how you look at Him. So back away from religion. That's why He taught me early on in this journey. If you want to grow in God's light, you have to unlearn all that you've learned. Forget all you've learned. Unlearn all you've learned. So that you can begin to learn what you need to learn. That'll take you forth into God's glorious light. That's what you need to do. But it's your choice. It's your choice. I still keep coming across some. He sends across my path. Like, it's not in the scriptures, and it's not true. Okay. Here's an example. Some discrepancies. Okay, this is all true. This is all true. Scriptures. Okay. Lot took his family, his people, and fled. And his wife didn't make it because she could not let go of her past life. Turned to stone. So his daughters slept with him, got impregnated by him, which is incest, to carry on his life. In the Bible, it's all truth. It's all truth, as everybody says. It's all truth. Okay. Incest is truth. Lot and his daughters. Well, let's go back further. Noah and his wife went on the ark, took his 3 sons, two of his sons took wives. What about the 3rd son? It's truth, like that. When they got on dry land, and they procreated, all the peoples were spread out, came from them. including the third son with no wife, where'd his children come from? From his mother, from his sisters-in-law, and when the children's children, there was inbreeding. There's no way around it. There was inbreeding, incest. Okay, it's in the Bible, therefore it's true. Let's go back to the very beginning, Adam and Eve. And curiously, and again, this is one of these awareness things that I realized yesterday. There's a reason for it. Noah had 3 sons. Adam and Eve had 3 sons. Not coincidence, no such thing. I know. Adam and Eve had 3 sons. No daughters. One of them was killed. So I left 2 sons to spread and populate the earth. So Adam, 2 sons left, 1 woman, the mother Eve. Incest again? Right here in the Bible. Right here in the Bible. This is the truth. I'm not saying that was evil. It was God. God, this is the truth of all the truth that is. Okay. I ask and wait to receive to have an understanding, a clear understanding of that. Because I want to learn. I want to learn, okay, that's a discrepancy. Teach me, Lord. Help me to understand about that. And about everything else that's I'm not clear on. But if it's everything in the Bible is about God and all truth, okay. Explain that to me. I'm ready to hear, to listen. Possible explanations. And I'm not saying it's not true. Yeah, it's true because it's in the Bible. I believe it. But I want to know an explanation for that. Or to elaborate. Lord, elaborate on that to me. Help me to understand clearly that. When He makes that aware to me, or explains that to me, I certainly will share it. But those are things I don't know and understand. How else, other than an ancestral relationship, did that happen? How else? It's in the Bible. People insist everything in here is true, and exactly all there is about God. Okay. So that's just an example of how people they insist that everything that God is in this Bible, and all of it actually happened and is true. A lot of it could be symbolic stories. A lot of it could actually have happened. That's not really important. What is important is what it means, what the story, whether it's real or not, what it means. Whether it's the moral of the story, the importance of the story, the meaning of the story, that's what matters. That's what really matters. So that's just some food for thought. Another thing. Actually, one more thing, because I talked about the gap between the letters and Revelation about that time. So there's some discrepancies, and there are other ones. Those were what came to mind last night. Another thing I want to talk about is eternal time. Well, as I mentioned in one of my messages, that space and time were illusions of man. Because of our limited capacity in our brains, we had to have parameters to exist, to function in. Otherwise, we just couldn't grasp it. And I've talked about this before. When you think about the size of the universe and compute it out, do the math, it's just like your head wants to explode. And that's just a minute fragment of what God is. God is omnipotent. That means He knows everything all the time. He's everywhere all the time. Because with God, eternal time, with God, there is no eternal. There is no time. Eternal time is just a phrase to use, but there is no time. With God, there is no time. There is no space. And if you try to think about that, you'll see what we're talking about, that the brain's not designed to really comprehend that. Because we grow up in space and time. So that we can't even conceive, what it would be like to not have space and time. There is no past, there is no future, it's just now, there's time. There's no time. There's no end. See, everything's end. We got a second, a minute, an hour, a day, a week, a month, a year, a decade, a century, a millennium, an era, an age, whatever you want to call it. There's an end to it. There's a time. There's a time frame. Not with God. There is no time. If you ever kind of lost track of time, like you had no sense of time, like what Dave, that's a very vague inkling of what it's like. There's just no time. No space. No space. God's everywhere all the time. Those are our loved ones that go to the light. Be anywhere. I mean, can be like my dad. Can be with my sisters, with me. My sisters on different sides of the continent. Me in the middle, all at the same time. He's aware of us all the time. That's why Jesus is with everybody all the time. Because there's no space and no time. Think about that. Really think about that. But there is no space of time with God. I mean, everybody pretty much knows that what's a day to God, what's a year to God. It's nothing, because there is nothing. There's nothing. There's no time. There is no year. There is no day. There is no second. There is no hour. There's no time. There's no space. So it's just some food for thought. And again, about the Bible, I didn't talk about that, mention all that stuff to insult anybody or say, hey, no, you're crazy, you're wrong. But to think about it, to ask God. Point is to ask God. Point is with all of my message, all my videos, is to think, to ask God, hey, teach me. I want to learn. I'm seeking to learn your wisdom and knowledge. I'm seeking your wisdom. I'm asking to receive discernment of your wisdom and knowledge. I'm knocking on the door and opening the door to this mystery to reveal it to me. So when I get to the final door, I open it up and I can enter into heaven. That's what he wants. Don't waste your time. Once you're done with the basic schooling for a particular job or career, then you need to start learning about God. Well, you should be doing that anyways before that. But if you have good parenting that put that foundation and that desire to learn about God there, but you got to learn about Him. Don't waste your time keep learning about things of this world that's going to give you more attainment, more wealth, and more success in this world. It's fleeting. It's temporary. It's all gone bye-bye. It's not going to get you into the gates of heaven. Focus on learning about Him. What He is all about. What is it He wants you to do in the time you have here? Which may be another second, another minute, another 25, 30, 40, 50 years. You don't know. But you have to be of the attitude that, the mindset that, hey, my time is up now. Have that attitude. Say, hey, Lord, what is it you need me to do? And what can I do for you in the time I have left here? Not what I can do for myself. Not what somebody else can do for me. What can I do for you? Is it helping somebody else? Is it saving somebody else? Teaching somebody else? Doing good things? That's learning about you. All of it together. Anything to do with Him. That's what you want to learn. That's what you want to focus on. The more you focus on that, the less chance you have, less time you have to screw up, basically. You still will. You're never going to get, none of us are ever going to be perfect. We're all going to screw up. I screw up, everybody screws up. As long as you're in this world, you're going to screw up. But you will grow in His light, and you will screw up less and less and less. So that covers everything that I was led to speak about. Food for thought, some discrepancies, some awarenesses, some questions I had. So when I learn more about it, like I do with everything else, I share it. You know, like these souls, spirits in the mist that are on my gateway, that are waiting to be sent. I learn from them too. Where they're at is kind of in between God's no space and no time in our physical world, space and time. They're kind of like in between. It's like when I left, moved from one location to another, I asked, hey, how do they perceive that? Are they going to move with me? Like, no, they didn't have to move with me. It was just me that moved. They're still with me. Not like they traveled with me. They're just like a different picture frame moved across as I moved. And they were stationary. As I was moving through space and time, they didn't need to. So they're kind of in between. So in heaven, there's no space and time. No space and time. So again, food for thought. Hopefully it didn't offend anybody. I never intend to offend anybody. Just trying to open up your minds to learn and grow, and to think, and to ask for help to understand things. And if you understand something that I didn't, please share it with me. I'm always happy to hear. When he sends me other people with other spiritual experiences, other gifts, and they share their experience, I love hearing about it. Might be a little off from what I know, because it might be a little bit behind on one aspect of the learning, or I might be behind on one aspect of our learning. So it's wonderful to share that stuff. So when you learn something, when you have an awareness, or a confirmation, epiphany, when you have a spiritual experience, share it. Share it. Don't worry about what others are going to think. They're not going to fully agree with you, but share it. What is to share it? It's like you learn something, you've given, for me, like all these messages are bags of seeds. I just throw them out there. I sow that seed that he gave me. What happens with it? It's not your concern. You shared it. You gave it out. If it takes root and grows on somebody, hey, even better. But if you never shared it, never had a chance to grow. So with that, we'll leave that. Hope everybody has a wonderful rest of the day or evening, wherever you're at in the world. And as always, peace of Christ to you all. God bless.